everyone, back again like tag team. Ask Charlie T Show live. So great to see y'all. So for those that are new here, ask your questions in the comment section of the video, and we will ask them in the order in which they are received. And we are going to start off by going to the YouTube channel and sharing the screen and literally just working since the last time we did this. That ought to be said. Check out, you see in the ticker down below if you want to check it. Click on the banner to show it on the screen. Okay, cool. Let me know. There we go. Boom. Go ahead and check out troubleshoot.com. Use code WAGMI. That's right, Lugo. For 20% off and free hats to everyone who spends over $150 today. You are joined by not only one, but two Charlies today. So let's see here real quick. Come here. Come here. It's my terry cloth girl. Hi. There we go. Okay. She's going to come in a little bit. So don't you worry. Little Charlie girl's going to be here. With all that to be said, again, load up the comment section with your questions. Last time we did this, we got to over 300 people. So, hey, do me a favor and like and subscribe and comment and share and all of the things to let more people know to show up here and get some value. So, all that to be said, let's get into it today. Also, for what it's worth, just very, very thankful for all the support that everybody's been giving to this. And yeah, let's get started. You know what? Actually, yeah, whatever. We did TikTok last time. I don't think we're going to do it again this time, but we will get there. Girl, okay, you want to come up? Yeah? Okay. All right, little girl's here. So that all behind us now. Let's get the AC cranking and then get to your questions. We get some questions and we want answers. So, hey, thanks, Cody. Love your videos. Thank you for all the helpful tips. Cody, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much. As a matter of fact, by the way, everybody, message me, DM if you can. We'll work out some stuff today, but let's do a couple $50 giveaways to disruptorschool.com as well. I'm super stoked. So how about this? If you share this video and then comment with what your favorite video has been, I will pick 5 people from that list and give them all $50 gift cards. So do that, screenshot it, send it to me on some social channel, and I'll send you a $50 gift card to disruptorschool.com. Check it out. All right. Okay. Boom. Let's do picture in picture this time, because why not? Last time we did it, and we did it a slightly different way. Don't show that again. Let's do window, channel comments. That's what we're looking for. Boom. All right. Let's see if we do it this way. Which way makes it the biggest? No. That way? No. Okay, cool. Oh, wait. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Fantastic. Hey, Cody, you got a couple questions, man. I got a bunch of answers. So go ahead, drop them in the comments section, and we will get to them in the order in which they are received. All right? So that brings us to my favorite part. Let's get into the questions. Okay, so Munib, again, eagerly waiting. I appreciate it. You were here last time. Thank you. All right. Now, hard lotion. 1 hour ago says, got my ad account set up and running within an hour without a baby on my lap, but I do have 9 kids. Congratulations, Hard Lotion. Fantastic. And this is, I got to actually not do this because otherwise I won't be able to come back to it. This is on a video we did here. This video, and I'll drop it into the comment section here. This video, let's just go ahead and do this. Boom. This is the video she's referring to Facebook ads easier and more profit than ever. Just so that you guys know, this was an ad on building flexible ads from scratch. Basically, I share a GPT that I built for all of you, and I build an ad for my business that I'm still running to this day live in the video, the entire thing, soup to nuts that you all can use, and and running ads to disruptor school stuff and those ads are running to this day, and they're profitable. And it took about 9 minutes, the whole thing, soup to nuts. So fantastic. So happy, Hard Lotion, that it's working for you. You come up with a fake acronym for ROAS. Relatively obsolete advertising statistic. Yeah, that makes sense. Really obvious amateur selling. Yeah, rarely obtains any scaling. I love this. Okay, if anybody wants to go to this automated rules, mastering automated rules for efficient Facebook ad scaling, and drop this into the comment section. All right, boom, that's that one. Okay, and then let's get this video in here. All right, cool. If anybody wants to go to this video and just straight up try to come up, reply back to that person's comment, and drop me down a couple acronyms for ROAS, I will. Anybody that plays the game gets a $50 gift card. How about that? How about that? All right, everybody that plays the game today, go to Win Colors comment on the video. I dropped it in the comment section here. Just go there and give me some funny names for ROAS, fake acronyms for it. Let's get to it, which is a phenomenal setup, by the way, to Anthony Rude's question. This is on the breaking news. Meta launches Flex Ads, which is one of the new videos we launched this week. And it says, how is ROAS not telling you if your account is bigger? Okay, so first off, Anthony, great question. I really appreciate it. And if you're watching this, thank you again. And so let's get to it. How is ROAS not telling you that your bank account is getting bigger? Well, ROAS, very simply put, is attributed revenue divided by ad spend. The problem is this, and it's threefold. First off, the revenue that you see today isn't solely because of the ad spend today. And in fact, if you stop spending money today, the ad spend from today and yesterday and last week would still generate customer journeys or help people buy tomorrow and next week. The point is that the customer journey is far more than just the ad spent on that ad today. And on top of that, even if somebody saw more than one ad today, the ROAS is going to be attributed to the ad that got the attribution. Now, you might say, well, I'm not looking at the ROAS by ad. I'm going to look at the ROAS by ad set or by campaign. Again, all nonsense, because point number one, the reason that sale happened is not just because of that ad spend today. Second point is that the revenue number isn't accurate. Not only do we, now you might say, well, my data is passing back and forth, and that's great, but not all of the revenue that you made today is being attributed to any of the ads that have been spent today. So you might drive 10,000 in revenue from sales today, but only 5,000 of it is directed from ads today. And at that point now, your revenue number is neither accurate nor inclusive of all of the revenue. And if you were to say, well, actually, I'm going to run on all of the revenue, now you're moving to something more like MER. But again, we face the same problem in that MER, marketing efficiency ratio, isn't because of your ad spend today. That's a part of it. If you didn't spend money on ads, you'd make less money. But the fact that you would make any money if you didn't run ads means that not all of the revenue you drove today is because of the ads today. And if you stop spending money today, you'd still make sales tomorrow and the next day, unless your business is just absolutely terrible or brand new. The point that we need to understand really brings us down to number 3. ROAS, like many other lies told by people to run numbers, and fully guilty is having somebody that's managed basically 9 figures in ad spend or in revenue, it's a ratio. And anytime somebody speaks to you in fractions, it's because they're trying to lie to you. We have an inaccurate number divided by a number that isn't the reason that it happened. And most importantly, that inaccurate number is neither inclusive of all revenue and it's not incremental. So you can have the ROAS of, say, 5 different channels. If you have 5 channels that all add up to saying, all channels drove, say, $3,000 in sales, my bank account only shows 6,000 total. You can't add up all those 3,000. And then you're like, okay, but that's fine. I've got, I've got, I've got North Beam, or I've got Triple Whale, or I've got Hyros, or I've got Ad Beacon, et cetera, et cetera. I actually get down to my real attribution. I know it's this ad that did this thing or the other. That ad is not the reason that thing happened. The concept of attribution itself is complete nonsense. The ad is not the reason that you bought it. The reason you bought those shoes that you're wearing isn't because of the ad that you saw. You've been buying shoes for decades. The average customer journey isn't days long. It's weeks, months, or years long. And your ad is not the only ad selling that thing in the market. Those shoes that you might have sold, I'm just picking on shoes today. When I was running New Balance, we also saw that like Converse was running ads, Nike was running ads, right? I mean, Reebok was running ads. There's dozens of ads that are going out there. Your ad today was the last touch point in a journey that is far too complex to measure, and every single customer's journey is completely different. What matters here more than anything, I'm going to end on this because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. Let's bring it home, Anthony. Here's what you need to know. It's not an actionable data point. You can't say, my ROAS is 3, so I'm going to do something. Now, you could say, well, my ROAS is 3, so I'm going to triple my budget. But tomorrow's revenue is going to look very different than today's because your ad spend isn't the reason that revenue occurred. It's partially, there's some causation, but it's a way more corollary metric, way more than it could ever be a causational metric. So when you're looking at an inaccurate number divided by a number that isn't the reason that it happened, specifically to take an action for something that is not affected by history and not predictive of the future, because again, people's behavior today is not their behavior tomorrow. You are looking at an inaccurate number to make bad decisions to try to predict the future based on previous performance. And that is a terrible way to make any decision. So because of that reason, along with many others, ROAS is not telling you if your account is getting bigger. In fact, I've seen a ton of brands get better and better and better ROAS until they went out of business because they're looking at margin, not volume. And ultimately, there's context to all of the data in the world. But if you're only looking at a terrible fraction to make predictions of the future, you're going to fail. And that brings us to our next question here. And by the way, if you're on this today, I'm loving it. We're already nearly 50 people. This is phenomenal. If you're on here today and you have a question, go ahead and ask it. I'm just loading up with the YouTube comments, and I left them unresponded to because I want to get people here. So anyway, check that stuff out. And hey, shout out to the Disruptor School Inner Circle. We had a class today. It went nearly 2 hours, and it was phenomenal. We got everything from CRO efforts. We got into optimizing ad accounts. We got into high ticket sales. We got into how I'm pulling post studies from flexible ads and DCTs. We got into funnel hacking. We got into just so much fun stuff. If you're not in Disruptor School Inner Circle, I mean, it's not for everybody. It is expensive, but if you can afford it, then it'll pay for itself in spades. So anyway, let's get to this. And then, okay, Jarius, I see a question coming up, so give me a second. Cloflow, 8 hours ago on 2 videos said, hey, Charlie, I'm wondering how much the MBA program is so I can see if I can enroll. Very direct question. I'll give you a very direct answer. The standard program starts around $6,500 and the premium program starts at around $12,000. So you can stack up some gift cards. You can use some of the discounts that we're mentioning. And, obviously we can make it work for you and there are payment plans for everything. What I love about the MBA program is we've had hundreds of people come through the Facebook Ads MBA program. And if you want to know more about it, just go to disruptorschool.com. You'll see the MBA. There's a button for it. Google Facebook Ads MBA program. Hey, look, if I don't come up, then you shouldn't trust me anyway. And there's a QR code and a link on almost every video that I've ever dropped because it's super valuable. I've had hundreds and hundreds of people go through it over the last several years. Not a single person that has completed the work has ever asked for their money back. That, to me, is a testament to the quality of the work. And most people ROI in a couple of months, if not a couple of weeks. It is a large investment, but investing in yourself is the greatest investment you can make. Every time I've ever invested in myself, I've gotten exponentially better returns than anybody would ever get on Bitcoin or anything else. And not to talk smack about Bitcoin. Maybe Nvidia or GameStop is better. But anyway, the point is, check that out. I think it can be a great fit if you're ready for it. And you can go ahead, book a call, check stuff out. It is 100% there for you. And for those that just want the direct link, disruptorschool.com/MBA ads. Check it out. All right, cool. So let's get to some of the questions from the chat today. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen. All right. First question from the chat today. We are up to over 50 people. This is phenomenal. Mainly on X. A lot of folks also on YouTube. Come on in, YouTubers. Love it. And if you're watching on X, hey, go to the YouTube and just follow along there. The views and the time means everything. So anyway, Jarius Curry, how can I get a high AOV apparel brand to work via Facebook ads? Well, I love this question, and there are 3 points that I want to look to first. Number one, can you make any sales without Facebook ads? Because the answer is no, then Facebook ads are not the right way for you. When you are running ads, what you are doing is amplifying the effect of your business model. If you can't make money, investing money into something that is broken doesn't result in a good outcome, overwhelmingly so. So first off, figure out how to make sales without the ads. Then use some of the profit volume of the sales that you get and start to use that as an ads budget with which to begin to amplify the rest of your business. Also, when it gets to more executionally speaking, when you begin to make sales, you're going to notice one of two things happening. Either A, you're going to have a hero product that everybody loves, or B, you're kind of having people buy all sorts of things, right? So if it's a hero product where everybody loves, run your Facebook ads to that product. If, however, it's people buying all sorts of things, dozens of SKUs, whatever, then use catalog ads. And I have a whole playlist on the YouTube channel. While I'm talking about this stuff, I'm going to go and try to grab this playlist link around DPA ads. And I did this with Dan from MarPipe, and I highly recommend you check out MarPipe. Okay, here we go. Boom, there is the link to the DPA ads, everything you need to know video, DPA and catalogs. I highly recommend that most brands look into this, and literally everything that you need to know is in there, and almost all of it will probably not necessarily fall in line with the things that you see from other folks that don't really know what they're talking about or care about you. But hey, look, I'm several $100 million into DPA ads, and I know how they work because I was there when they were making them. So anyway, check that out. It is phenomenally value packed, and there's multiple videos, an entire playlist, plus an interview and like a step-by-step guide. Like, I don't think you can watch that and then not make more money than when you started. Like, it's the ROI on your time is stupid when you watch that. So just go ahead and check that out. But I'd be focusing on finding my hero product that I can sell and then running a bunch of ads to that, or running the catalog. Side note, you could just run the catalog and then do all of your organic promotion, your Instagram, your YouTube, your TikTok, everything else to your hero product. And at that point, your Facebook ads are cleaning up everything else. If you ever watch Mighty Ducks 2, it's all about cleaning up the trash. That's how they're like protecting, getting scored on by Iceland and stuff. You can let Facebook ads and the DPA work like Google Shopping to clean up all of the sales that don't happen organically. Phenomenal way of running your business. And I highly recommend that you focus on going that route. The AOV of the product has nothing to do with whether or not you can be successful in Facebook ads. And anybody that disagrees with me on that, bring me any data that shows me the last 12 years of my career was inaccurate. So I don't know. Some folks might disagree with me, but not everybody's right about everything. That's fine. I'm wrong about stuff all the time. Not about this stuff generally, but I'm open to it possible. And I'll show you literally hundreds of data points that might disagree with me. Awesome. Cool. So let's get to one more question from the chat, and then we'll go back to the YouTube stuff here. In the chat here, we've got GoGo07 says, I'm assuming here, GoGo07, that you're thinking about, can I click on this and show it? Oh, I can. Nice. What's the best budget to test a product? I'm assuming here you're coming from the space of drop shipping. And my answer to this is going to be a better version of it depends than maybe you're getting from other people. What can you afford? That's it. What do you have in your bank account? Do you have $500 in your bank account? Then maybe you only have 100 to 200 you can test because you should probably be testing more than one product. What about if you already had a win? Could you test your products for free by vertically integrating your drop shipping business and ultimately build a brand? One of the biggest mistakes I see drop shippers do is they don't actually focus on business fundamentals. Like if you have a drop shipping business where you've been selling, I don't know, let's say these coasters. All right, cool. You're selling fun coasters. Can you sell me other coasters? Can you sell me cups? Can you sell me anything that's related to this? Vertical integration. If you already sold 500 or 1,000 of these things, you have the email addresses of people. You don't need a budget to send out an email to say, hey, do you want this other product that I completely drop ship and you can sell it to them for free? And then if you actually can drop ship through email and you can use, say you raise $1,000 with that in profit, then you can maybe take 500 of that, put in your bank account and take the other 500 and try to run ads to it. Use the money that you make to drive sales. Don't try to drive sales on things that don't make money. That's really like the best piece of advice I could give you there. Okay, awesome. Let's get back to boom, 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 boom. I see more comments coming in and I love it. We'll try to get to everyone we possibly can, but we also want to get back to these questions here. Okay, so we've got, let me get rid of this. Boom. Okay. We've got, thanks for sharing this. Oh, this is the how to scale a Facebook ad for any business. Let's just go ahead and drop into the chat here real quick. Boom. Oh, I should probably have put the name of the video there. Oh, well. Can I edit this thing? Yes or no? No. Okay. I'm going to delete that. I almost banned myself as a user. That's probably not good. Okay, here we go. Boom. And then we're going to grab share. Thank you. Copy. I know usually people that do this kind of thing have like 2 or 3 people. And I get it. Okay. So anyway, this is a video on how to scale Facebook ads for any business. And I get into this is what an ad account looks like for a local business. And then this is what it looks like for a multi-million-dollar business. And then break down everything you need to do to scale. And in that video, as a response to that, our man over here, what is this? I'm a white dude from the suburbs, so forgive me as I'm going to butcher this name. Ayaz Ahmad, I give myself a C+ on that. A+ for effort, C+ on execution. All right, thanks for sharing this, Charlie. One question I have is why 322 specifically? Let's say I'm more interested in testing the image of videos as opposed to the headline or copy. Could one do a 10-1-1? Well, the short answer is yes, you could. You could do a 10-1-1, but it means that you're just going to have much higher confidence on the copy and headline and almost no ability to have meaningful data insight on the images or videos. One of the reasons that we do a 322 ad is because we don't want to just have one of anything. If you're doing a test, you want to not have a binary yes or no, it worked, right? When you have one headline, it's did that headline work, yes or no? If you have 2 headlines, it's not did it work, yes or no, it's which one did better. And this is a lesson I learned back as a touring musician. You know, when you get off stage and you say, would you like to buy a t-shirt? Your conversion rate is a lot less than which t-shirt would you like to buy? And that's a very important nuance to all of this. In addition to that, let's see if we can just do this. Whatever. In addition to that, so we need options, right? So that's why we have 2 headlines and 2 primary texts. And we do 2 of those because they are less impactful on the bottom line of the business. They are less impactful on the overall results. What stops the scroll is the image or video. Then the eye, 85% what stops the scroll is the creative. Then the eye goes to the headline. Then it goes to the primary text. And they've tracked the eyeballs at scale. That's how the human eye works, which is why the creative to a headline and everything else has been working on newspapers for well over 100 years. And it's something that you see everywhere else because that's just human nature. Now, if you run 10 different images or videos, what you're doing is saying, does the thing that gets a good result early, is that good enough for me to base the future of my business on? Here you go, girl. I'm going to do this, okay? There you go. Okay, sweetheart. All right, so what you're asking is, when you run a 10-way test, you're not actually giving everything an even shot, which is generally good. but you are wildly over-indexing in whatever gets spent early. Is it good or bad? And so you're basically pulling lottery tickets. And is the thing that got the 7th most amount of spend better or worse than the thing that got the 4th most amount of spend? Well, you have no idea. All you know is whatever got the most spend, did it do good or bad? And that's a really bad bit of data. Instead of doing a 10-1-1, I would love to see 3 2-2-2s. And then you can say which concept did well. Well, these testimonials versus these product shots versus these, let's say, before and afters. Great. Now I have 3 different concepts executed 3 different ways for each concept. And I can see not only does this ad work, but which concept is better and which one is a prospecting ad, which one's a retargeting ad, which one is bottom of funnel, which one is too efficient at the top of the funnel, what earns spend, what doesn't. You can do a 4PI analysis on each concept. If you're going 10 deep, you ultimately have no ability to understand why something is working. Let me put it to you in a different way. The amount of ways that a 52 card deck can be shuffled is a number that sounds like Dr. Seuss. Honestly, I think it's like 80 vegan tillion or something, some ridiculous number. The point is when you start to stack up variation and you start to stack up instability, your ability to make actionable insight basically becomes 0. So the reason that we do 3-2-2 is because it gives us a which one did better at the copy, and it gives us a 3-way split at the thing that makes the biggest impact. And so ultimately we can say which of these did the best, which of these earned the most. And we can work our way through multiple variations. Like if you have 6 different ideas, you can run them in 2 separate ads and you can be able to say which one did better, not did this work. Because ultimately when you run 10, it's did this work? Did the thing that earned the most amount of spend work, yes or no? It's not which one did better and why. And if you don't know the why and you can't point to the impact on your business because a certain concept got spent over another one, then you honestly have no idea what you're doing, which is another reason why we don't do creative testing with cost caps, and we don't worry about ABOs, and we don't run 1,000 different ads in a million different places. And the people that tell you how to do that have no functional understanding of how business works. They're just trying to sell you something based on the volume of work, which is your sales pitch if you can't point to the quality of the work that you do, which separates me from the cost cap bros, and they know who they are. Okay, let's get to another question here, and then we'll go back to the chat. Okay, let's see. Haroon Ishmael. I'm going to give myself a B- on that one. Okay, quick question. Do you make exclusions in your top of funnel ads, i.e. web traffic, so that you only hit cold people? That's off of the, if you don't know your numbers, Ask Charley T Show, episode 6. And the answer to that question, let's actually just open this up just while we're doing this. Yeah, episode 6 of the Ask Charley T Show, which, always check this stuff out. Ooh, there's a freebie on this one, a giveaway. Hey, check that out. If you go to this video, you're going to get yourself a 7 golden rules free resource. Awesome. Cool. So that being said, let's get back to the question. Do you make exclusions in your ads? And the answer to that is no, I'm not. And like, do you only want to bring in cold traffic? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that a machine learning algorithm is going to effectively learn how to close people if it's only able to talk to people once? If hello doesn't end in a sale, that means that it's a fail. And it doesn't mean, well, you're going to get better and better and better at getting hello makes a sale. No, it just means that you're going to suck. The point here is we can't think of ads as top funnel, mid, and bottom where you control the audiences. Facebook is not Google Display. Facebook is not email. Facebook is not PPC as much as many experts might say it is. It has nothing to do with that. So our strategy has to be different. Facebook ads ultimately work within their own funnel within the platform. And we can see which ads are prospecting, which ones are retargeting. And I know a ton of people are like, well, I'm excluding purchasers here and I'm trying to improve CAC. And we'll get into all that stuff if there's a question, which is also complete nonsense and really bad for your business. But you can take a look at the spend, the frequency, the efficiency and the CPMs to understand if this is a prospecting ad or a retargeting ad in the way that the platform is using it within the platform. I see so many folks that are like, well, I'm excluding top of funnel stuff. Like, this is clearly a prospecting ad. And then I look at the frequency of that ad and the CPM of that ad. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing is just wildly retargeting people in the platform. It's a bottom of funnel ad, and the CPMs generally are higher, and the efficiency on it is generally worse, which means it's a really bad retargeting ad. And do you want to know more about that stuff? I don't want to get too much into it now. There's multiple videos on the YouTube channel on what we call a 4PI analysis. So check out 4PI, right? So I'm going to type this into the chat. Just check out 4PI analysis. That is really how you're going to be able to understand where your ads fit in the Facebook funnel. Also understanding that the Facebook funnel itself does not exist in isolation. The Facebook funnel itself is also part of a much bigger sales funnel that exists on multiple platforms with multiple brands and multiple touch points that goes over multiple weeks, months, or years, and sometimes even decades. The amount of people that I see saying, well, we need top of funnel ads to let people know about the problem. Then we're going to make them problem aware and then product aware and solution aware and all this other stuff. And it's like, look, you're spending $500 a day. You're spending $5,000 a day. You're not spending enough to ever reach enough people that you don't just need to be the better option. There's somebody spending exponentially more money than you that is doing all of the funnel filling. You just need to be the better choice when somebody wants to make a purchase decision. When you start spending $50, $80, $100,000 a day, yes, then maybe you need to break into new markets. But honestly, as somebody that is repeatedly and openly and in public regularly every year bought brands from a couple $100 a day to dozens of thousands of dollars a day, like Under Outfit, for instance, right? They were doing 50K, I say like 50K in a month in the summer of 2021, and we did like 7 million in April or May. Like, the way you get to there is to understand that even at 50, 80, 100,000 a day, we're scratching the surface of the shapewear industry. All we need to do is be a better choice. All you need to do is get the sale from somebody who's already willing to buy. Like, the amount, the volume of effort that people put into duplicating the marketing efforts of somebody else with way deeper pockets that doesn't need to be nearly as effective is staggering in the negative impact it has on people's bank accounts. But hey, look, you're going to have quote unquote experts talk about this stuff all the time because, well, it makes them sound smart. And because they can point to the success of brands that didn't need them to be successful and say, well, look at what we did for them. It's like, well, you have an international celebrity and a real estate, a stockbroker from Wall Street together putting out I don't know, whatever that celebrity is famous for, right? Look at Hexclad, for instance, right? You have Gordon Ramsay pairing up with a guy who spent decades building businesses coming together to sell cookware. Do we really think that the reason that business is successful is because of the ad agency that was spending the money while it was on a rocket ship? No, you shouldn't. All right, now let's get to some more stuff here because I'm just firing shots. And the last time I quoted Zach openly and kindly, I got comments on my YouTube videos and in DMs that was basically like, hey, thanks for giving me a shout out in my business. We call that slander. And I was like, you got to be quoting people is only called slander if, you're not happy with the words that are coming out of your mouth. If I legitimately just cite facts and quote you and that's slander, maybe be better at what you do. That's my 2 cents for what it's worth. No reason that you guys need to know all the drama that goes around between me and then all the folks that we all laugh at. Won't get into it all, but yeah. A lot of well-respected people are complete fucking jokes. Let's get into it. And not saying that about Zach. I was going off on a diatribe about people like Taylor and Chase and like I said, we won't get into it. Anyway, let's get to the next question. All right, this comes from James. Hi, Charlie. When I move my winning DCT to the winner's ad set, it lowers performance. Do I just leave the DCT on then instead? Yeah. Let me ask you this, James. Did you need to move the DCT? Did you need to grab the post ID and move it at all? Let me ask you this. The golden question in all of Facebook advertising is simple. Can I spend more money? And the answer to that is yes, because my blended efficiency is good enough. Then why are you changing anything? The purpose of creative testing is to improve efficiency, to scale your efficiency. When you scale your efficiency, that allows you to scale volume because, well, now we've reduced the CPA by 10%. We can probably spend at least 15, 20, 30, 40% more on these ads before that lack of efficiency catches up. Okay. Well, then what about scaling the efficiency of search or scaling the efficiency of email or taking a look at the conversion rate or improving the AOV? All right, girl, hold on a second. Here we go. Okie dokie. Okay. What if we move all of the things that happen after the click? Well, let me give you a fun fact. If you improve the conversion rate of your landing page by, say, 15%, and you go from a 2 to like a 2.3, you can spend more money on Facebook. At that point, do you change your ads? Fuck no. And if somebody tells you to change your ads after you get a conversion rate, like, they don't care about your bottom line. Like the idea of saying my business works, I've gotten efficient enough that I have a margin with which I can spend more to acquire a customer. What I'm going to do is destabilize my funnel and bring in new customers where I don't know how they're going to behave. That's the dumbest thing ever. Like, do you want 100 ads that all drive 100 sales so that if you want to get anybody to buy, if you want to get 10% of those people to buy a second time, you have to be right 100 times? Or do you want to run 10 ads that all get 1,000 sales a piece and then you only have to be right once? Like, one of those is so much easier than the other one. So my point to that is customer behavior is incredibly static. The way people behave on your site and in your business is incredibly projectable. When somebody buys, there are products in your business that wildly over-index towards second purchases. And if you're running e-commerce, remember, you are a lead gen business. A lead is a purchase. The conversion of that lead is when they buy a second time. All e-commerce is lead gen. All SaaS is lead gen. Business is lead gen. Getting a sale isn't the end. It's a validation. If you're trying to make the biggest profit you can on day one, it means you're not making nearly as much money as you could. The easiest way of making more sales is to get as many people as possible who look and feel the same, so that when you solve how to get 5% of them, 10% of them, 15% of them to buy a second time, you just have to ramp up the ads you currently have. You don't need to spin out a million other ads to drive in a whole bunch of other customers that look and behave completely fucking different and then solve all of those problems, which as you solve those problems, you're actually making all the decisions you made to convert the people that you already had. All of those decisions are getting a lot worse. So my point to that is, when you move a winning DCT, I'm not surprised the performance gets a little bit worse because you're running you're moving one post ID instead of a collection. My question is this: do you need to move it? And also, if it gets worse, is that a problem? If you move that post ID and it earns spend and it ultimately doesn't do as well as that other ad set did, can you still increase budget? Have you worked on everything else? And ultimately, if the answer is, well, my blended result is still good, then you don't have a problem. And I'd be way more focused on understanding exactly what problems I do have and then trying to do creative testing on the Facebook platform to solve those problems by running a 4PI analysis, and then also improving my conversion rate and getting my AOV up and getting my LTV up, getting my email lead capture and convert system together. Like we had the masterclass with Philip Rivers in Disruptor School. I'll drop a link to that here in just a second. Girl, you are enjoying this, aren't you? Okay. So like get all of your business fundamentals together, and making money on Facebook becomes phenomenally easier because instead of playing the same game as everybody else that doesn't know what they're doing, which is cost caps and ASC and trying to just reduce the cost of everything possible to get down to the highest contribution margin and ROAS on day one, while they're working really hard to destroy their ability to operate as a business, you can work really hard in making your business more effective. And one of the things that I love, and a quote from this guy, Cody from Jones Road, by the way, here is the URL in the chat to the email marketing lead capture and convert masterclass from Phil Rivers. Highly recommend. And you can save 20% with the codes going around the bottom of the screen. that a good business is what scales an ad account. That's how it works. When you improve your business, let's say you improve your conversion rate by 10%. Immediately, you can spend 10% more on Facebook ads. And that's it. Well, they look a little bit worse. You don't care. Your unit economics don't have to be as efficient because your business is more efficient. When you understand unit economics, it becomes just about what is the best profitable scaling margin I can get, or ultimately answering the most important question, which is not what is the best, but is it good enough to spend more money? If the answer is yes, don't do anything else. So ultimately, that is a very long-winded diatribe on your answer here, James, of when I move it, it lowers performance, so just leave it on. The answer, first off, is yes, leave it on, because you don't know if the single post ID is going to be good enough. Maybe you have to grab a second one. And if your results are good enough anyway, then definitely, if your results are good enough anyway, then definitely don't turn off an ad. Like if your marketing portfolio makes money, if your investment portfolio prints cash, don't fuck with it. Just take advantage of it and enjoy it, because you've already solved the problem. There's a great saying, and I'll end on this. And I think it's a great saying because I think of how nuanced it is. People say all the time, it was in the last place that I looked. I fucking hope so. I hope you didn't see it, you didn't find it, and then keep looking. But if you're running creative tests every week while also trying to scale your budgets and improve your CRO and your LTV and your AOV, well, you found it, and then you just kept looking. And you just wasted everybody's time and money. And everybody's getting 10, 20, 30% wins every week, and your bank account isn't moving because you focus on all the wrong things. Because ego, sadly, is way more powerful than business fundamentals when it comes to the psyche of most marketers. So anyway, James, hopefully we can unpack some of the terrible advice that's out there in the world by using your question as a launch pad for my soapbox today. So thank you very much for that, James. I very, very much appreciate it. Let's see, Cody Nixon. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to get back to the YouTube. Charlie, how do you scale a business that has a 10% returning customer rate? AOV is 199, blended NCPA is 64. First off, Cody, I don't give a shit about NCPA. That is a fake number. And I'll unpack that real quick. New customer acquisition cost is merely how much did I spend and how many new customers did I get? Is that good or bad? Well, I don't know. Returning customers' money is just as green as a new customer's money. Now, where a new customer matters versus returning customer is if the average person buys twice, or if the average person who does buy twice, if the average person who's a returning customer buys twice, and we have 10% of people that do that, well, then we know that 10% of our sales are from customers who are buying on the second time, which means that sale is a fully matured LTV. So 90% of our transactions are people starting their journey to getting the LTV. And ultimately, when you look at your NCPA or your CAC, it's merely an output of a math equation, but it's not really actionable. It's not like, well, our CAC is really low, we can keep spending, although there is an argument to be said for that. But I would say what would matter more to me is what's your profit volume? And knowing that in summer months, your NCPA is going to be higher than in winter. And that's totally fine. And you should know that. Like June, July, August, your NCPA is going to be up. We know that. What about your AOV? If your NCPA goes up, can you improve the returning customer rate? Can you improve the AOV? And so how do I scale a business that looks like this? One of the three things I'll look at is this. Number one, I'm going to look at what is my cash flow cycle. Is it 25 days till somebody buys again? Is it 90? If it's 90, can I make it 80? Can I make it 70? Can I make it 65? Because you only have to be cash flow positive on the first sale until anybody buys the second time. And then you can be not first order profitable, which is a terrible term thrown out there by people that aren't building businesses. It's just sales folks running ads. So I want to know what the cash flow cycle is so that I know how long my investment will take to fully mature. Right? That's good to know because we're making money. Second thing is my AOV is 199. Cool. And if you listen to me, I'm working from the bottom up. I'm working from the end of the customer journey to the front of the customer journey and then up the sales funnel. So what is the cash flow cycle to fully mature LTV? Got it. Then we're getting to the AOV. Is there a reason why it's 199 and not 230? Could we say 199? If you spend that, I'll give you a $50 gift card for for $35. If we can assume a 30% breakage, is there a way to say we're going to do that for you, right? Or can we, say, hey, we know you like to come back and buy other things. We might run out occasionally. For an extra $10 a week, you can join our VIP program that guarantees your product never runs out. Now you've turned your individual sale into an insurance program, and you've run the thing up to the roof. I did that through 10 Nutrition. We made like $5 million a year just on selling insurance, which is complete nonsense, but totally fucking worked. Then from there, can I improve my conversion rate? If my conversion rate is a 2, can I make it a 2.1 or make it a 2.2? If I can make it 10% better, if I can get a double-digit percentage increase, well, then I can afford to spend more money because my unit economics are greater. I don't care what my Facebook CPA is. My blended cost per acquisition of any transaction and ultimately my profitable scaling margin, which is LTV divided by the sum of CPA and COGS times frequency of purchase. If that number is net positive for me, do I want to make a higher margin or do I want to have a higher volume? And that's ultimately gets us down to the question that we really need to understand, which is, can I spend more money? And if the answer is yes, I can spend more money, well, then let's get down to how you actually scale. And I'm going to say, if your PSM is like a 2.5 and anything above a 1.8 of your current volume is phenomenal, then your blended CPA is dramatically less than it needs to be. And it's probably because you have a great returning customers and you're going to have some organic sales and your Google search is going well and your Facebook ads and your whole just marketing efficiency. And I'm not caring about the Facebook ad CPA because that's a completely irrelevant number. It's total number of transactions, right? What does it cost? Unit rate for all transactions in your business. If that number is phenomenally less than it could be, let's say that blended CPA is 36 and we can afford a 50. Well, then I'm going to be more aggressive in my scaling than if it's 36 and what I can afford is a 40. Now, more aggressive might look like I'm going to add 2% a day, 7 days a week, as long as my Facebook CPA is below X number. And I'm going to figure out some corollary between and you bust it out in Rosetta Stone, a Facebook CPA of 62 equals a blended CPA of 36 because of whatever. That number will always change. Your marketing mix is what makes that number really work. And your attribution and your strength of your organic sales and your business model and all of that fun stuff. If my gap is massive, I'm willing to just crank the knob 2% a day, every day, 7 days a week. And I know you're like, well, that's not a lot. That compounds up. And if you are close, another thing you could do, let's say, you can afford a 40 and right now you're at a 36, add 5% 3 times a week. And again, you're like, well, that's not a lot of money. 5% 3 times a week is 2x a month. 2x a month is 37x a year. Can you afford to spend 37 times more money? Wouldn't you love for that to be your problem? And the beautiful thing about scaling like that is you're going to know weeks or months ahead of time if you actually have an operational problem. And if you know 6 weeks, 3 months ahead of time that, in like late September, we're going to have a scaling issue, then you've got 8 to 10 weeks to fix whatever the most impactful problem is. If that means like, this is a problem unless I can get my AOV over 220. If my AOV goes over 220, I don't have a problem until November. Awesome. Fix that. You've got 10 weeks to make it work. You have one problem that is going to allow you to continue to say yes. And if you're entirely looking at your marketing effort to grow your business of, can I spend more money? Then you're looking to the value, volume, and cost of every stage of the funnel. And then what happens after that purchase to look at what can I do to say, yes, I'm allowed to spend more money. And there's going to be one inflection point that is the simplest solution with the greatest amount of impact to ultimately get you to a yes. And that is the only problem you need to worry about. If I'm at that situation where I've got 8 to 10 weeks, what I'm not doing is creative testing. Why would I ruin my funnel if I'm already successful? I'm not going to be focused on anything really until like the actual conversion point and after the transaction. If it's starting to get close and that yes is sometimes yes, sometimes no, like once or twice a week, it's more of a no than a yes. Then I can start to look at, well, what about my search? What about my email? What can I do still pre-click, but post Facebook that's going to allow me to say yes? And if I improve all of those things, and literally the only thing left to touch is my Facebook ads, then I'm going to start focusing on some creative testing or some strategic efforts. But until I even have a problem, I'm not going to invest in trying to solve the problem. And ultimately, my problem is this. When I say, can I spend 5% more 3 times a week? If the answer is no, every day of the week, then I have a problem. And you should know that problem weeks or months ahead. And if by the time that problem hits, you haven't solved it, then you stop scaling and you really focus on what can we do better. And if you improve the business, here's my favorite part. If you improve the business, that fix is going to impact all channels. If you make a better Facebook ad, it doesn't make anything else better. If you improve the business, it makes all channels better. And what happens when you make all channels better? You can afford to spend more money. Scaling a business is that's how we do it. Folks that look to destabilizing the funnel specifically to make a performance marketer look good on a report to scale a business have functionally no understanding of how a business growth really happens when it comes to paid media. These are the kind of folks that say silly things like, well, what you need is cost caps and retargeting and advantage shopping with launching 1,000 ads every week. Like, that is the easiest way to take advantage of the marketing funnel the business has and ultimately put them out of business, which is why most of the agencies that sell that also have a clause in their contract where if you want to let them go before the contract is over, they'll sue you in those contracts. Those lawsuits can be in the $50,000 to $100,000 range. But hey, look, they're really popular dudes on the internet. And they've got a bunch of friends that have all been successful and brands that have not needed them to be successful. They can point to and say, well, look at the work we've done. And unfortunately, the D2C world is littered with dreams that have died and jobs that have been destroyed by a lot of those folks who define their success as being a salesperson. Because ultimately, I'll leave it at this. Most experts and agencies are a lot better at selling than they are at doing. Most agencies are mediocre at best, which is why I try to tell people how to do this work. Because like, if you go to the Facebook Ads MBA program, if you were to go through that program, you know how to run your Facebook ads in like 2-3 hours a week. Now, if you're an operator who's got great work-life balance, you're only working 40 hours a week, and it's literally like an hour on a Monday and like a Friday afternoon that you're in your ad account, and the rest of the week is just spent working on the business. If that can triple the scope of your growth, do you really want to hire that out to some 20-year-old kid that's never run a business and who will never, ever see the problems that you have in your business right now and who defines their self-worth as being able to drive a vanity number that's bad for your business? No. And so I know I'm on a tirade there. I don't know why I'm on a bunch of tirades today, but people seem to dig it. So anyway, all that to be said, when we're looking to scale a business, we need to know our fundamentals, improve your unit economics, and then begin to scale the volume of everything. Facebook is the volume knob. Everything else we talked about is your marketing efficiency, not MER. No. We're talking about real numbers, marketing efficiency, conversion rate by step of the funnel, and AOV, LTV, and cash flow cycles. Improve those things. And if the answer is yes, don't do anything else. Okay. All right. Cool. It looks like there's another part to this question. And it looks like here that the business is heavily Google and based and Amazon based on keywords. Awesome, bro. If you're getting these kinds of numbers and you have an MER, it's 31%, I don't give a shit. That's not real money or math. I legitimately don't give a shit if your MER is 8% or 400. I don't care. Tell me your profit volume, and if the business is moving in a direction where you make more money. Your MER can go through the roof as you go out of business. But Google-based and Amazon-based, if you already have all those things cranking, then all you need to do is add Facebook ad budget and then focus on the ads that when they get more spend, you see your sales and your Google and Amazon volume go up. I don't give a shit about Facebook CPA. If I already have a business model that cranks on PPC, the job of my Facebook ads is to give the PPC more opportunity. The worst thing I could do is say, oh, I'm making a 3X. My ACOS is 30, but I'm going to really focus on this Facebook ads where my profit margin is 5%. Like, that's the dumbest thing we could do. Okay, there you go, girl. All right. Daddy needs a little bit of break, and your terry cloth is making me sweat on my knee. Okay. All right. Let's get to All right. Let's get over to some YouTube comments, and we'll come back to some more of this stuff. Boom. Great. Okay. Oh, somebody asked what time for the call. Yeah, I have this fun thing where I'm not telling people because I don't really know because I'm a dad. I'm just doing this like when I have the chance. Okay. Thanks, Charlie. Rebupsell ad and DPA will be created in an ad set control along with the post ID. Is that correct? This is in response to a YouTube short. Okay. So, okay, got it. So this is a YouTube short where we're talking about how you only need one campaign to be successful. And the answer to this, let me just link this down. The answer to this, and one thing that I feel like I'm misquoted a lot because there's nuance to that. By the way, the link to this video in the chat over here is it's one campaign per business objective. So what I really want to share here is that rebuttal upsell ads, which by the way, if you don't know about those, you should really be checking out the YouTube channel. There's amazing videos on rebupsells, and I've legitimately helped brands 5x in a year by just getting the rebupsells together. When people say 30% growth is like why I should be happy to hire you as an ad agency, I say that's why I'm going to fire you. 30% growth means that my sales team and my customer service did their job. Not that the marketing team did anything. It's probably only 30% because I hired that marketing team. And then also DPA. DPA ads, catalog ads, that would be a different business objective. So my rebuttal upsell is, how do I improve the unit economics of transactions by offering higher value products? Basically, can I get the LTV in one transaction? Awesome. If I know my LTV on a customer is $105, can I sell a $120 bundle? That's a rebuttal upsell. So my point there is lower volume, higher margin. A DPA ad, a catalog ad, is probably going to be focused either on customer acquisition or on reducing my blended CPA by improving the overall volume of transactions I have in the business. Again, I'm looking at the unit economics and the math on my finance sheet, and every campaign that I run should be focused on moving one of those variables. Is it customer acquisition? Is it sales volume? Is it overall AOV? Is it LTV? Is it volume or cadence of purchases? Is it cash flow? What is this campaign's specific KPI? What is the business objective I'm trying to get out of this campaign? And if I can focus on that campaign and point to that one specific business objective, then I'm glad that I've got a clear delineation of my goal, but I might have multiple goals inside of an ad account. Point to that though, side point, you don't need multiple goals in your ad account until you've maximized the opportunity of the most important thing that you had. If you spend money in one place and it doubles your dollars, and you spend money somewhere else and it gets you a 10% return, every dollar you spend to get a 10% return costs you a 90% upside. So maybe stop picking up dimes and nickels and ignoring the dollar bills, which is another reason why okay. I know I said I was going to stop this for a second, but every agency that tells you to run Facebook ads on cost caps to all of the products that make a profit ultimately don't give a shit about your bottom line, because one of those products, more importantly and more effectively than anything else, gets people to buy more than one time. Your business is about future cash flow at a profit. If you can break even at buying future cash flow, and that future cash flow comes in at a massive profit, then you're going to scale your business. If you live and die by your ability to sell individual things while keeping the machine dumb and destroying your sales funnel and ultimately not building a business because you're relying purely on salespeople to work independently from each other and cannibalize each other, then you're going to struggle in a way that honestly the ad agencies that you hire to do the work for you don't give a shit about. Oh, I got a super chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dropping in a super chat, Marvin. You skipped the line. I like it. I don't even know what currency that is, but it's a super chat and I respect it. Okay. Marvin, let's get to your question right away. I wonder if I can show this on the screen somehow. I don't know. All right, here's what I'm going to do. This is Marvin's question. We're going to get rid of, let's see, do this. Boom. I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to, I can do it this way. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I figured it out. All right, cool. All right, Marvin, thanks for the super chat. By the way, if anybody else wants to jump the line, go ahead and drop me a super chat. I really appreciate it. Do you still recommend having a winner's ad set? Let me do this. Let me give you all the love in the world here, Marvin. Let's do that one. Boom. Okay. Do you still recommend having a winner's ad set? I currently have one DCT that is crushing at 10,000 a day. Yes, Marvin, I love it. I'm worried if I move the post ID to a winner's ad set, it'd mess up the whole campaign. Marvin, if you're crushing at 10,000 a day, don't change anything. Yes, ultimately you should have a winner's ad set. But if you can add more budget, don't do anything. If anything, I want you with this super chat today to have the permission from me to say that the best job you can do today is realize you've made your need to do any work today obsolete. And I'd recommend potentially trying to automate this budget and crank it. Don't go nuts. Can you add 1% a day? 1% a day. Now, it might take forever to double, but like, look, if it takes you a month to add 50%, wouldn't you love to be crushing in 15,000 a day in a way that's incredibly stable? Let's do some math here real quick. I'm gonna open up ChatGPT. Let's see. This is not my normal account, so it's gonna ask me to. Here we go. Boom. Nope. That's Cat GPT. That's something else. Somebody should own Cat GPT. What's going on there? All right. Continue with Google. There we go. All right. I'm going to share my screen here real quick for you, Marvin. Let's break down some fun math. We're going to stop this screen. We're going to present, share screen, window, ChatGPT. Awesome. All right. So Marvin is currently spending 10,000 a day. All right. Add 1% a day for 30 days and tell me how much I'll be spending on each day. Let's try that out. By the way, if you're not using ChatGPT as a calculator, you're missing out. All right. Show me each day for 30 days. I mean, I love this. That is what I'm talking about. Look at that compounding interest. All right. So on day 30, you'll be at 13,000. So my math was off. Look, I was doing compounding interest in my head live on camera, and I'm getting over a little bit of. Point is, you could be spending 30% more every single day in a way that is incredibly stable because you never made any real significant change in your business. And 1% change in the data set is incredibly knowable. And if you get to the point of you're like, wow, I mean, I'm getting to the spot where like, if another week goes like this, I'm not happy. Cool. Stop scaling. Let the data catch up. And then after another few days, you might get back to the point where like, oh, you know what? This thing can still rip. Because here's the other fun thing. And this is a great question, by the way, Marvin. I really appreciate it because you're letting me to share my screen. There we go. What else is on here, by the way? Just my assistant is going okay, so there's no weird shit. I was gonna say if there's weird shit in the chat GPT over here, it's 100% my assistant Jake, Big Jake Ramirez. I think it's Big Jake, Fat Jake Ramirez. Anyway, he's a semi-funny Jake on Twitter. Good dude. Anyway, I'm not moving my post ID until I can't do this. And even if I can't do this, I'm not moving my post ID. I'm going to potentially try to add a second DCT to my mix and see when this DCT earns spend, what does it do to my bottom line? Do I still feel comfortable? And if I can just focus on doing this, you've already solved the problem, right? What we say before, like it's always in the last place you look. Yeah, because hopefully when you find it, you stop looking. You found it, buddy. Marvin, you're doing good stuff. So let's see. By the end of the week, you can basically be spending an extra $600 a day in a way that is incredibly stable and scalable. And by the end of 2 weeks, you're at an extra $1,300. Yeah, an extra nearly $1,400 a day. And that is incredible. I mean, you basically scaled 14%, and that's every single day. Every single day, you're making 14% more, right? And then let's get to 21. By the time you're at day 21, you're at over 20% more, and that's every single day. It's not like you added 20% and then it broke and then you have to start all over. No. You're just making a bit more money every single day. And some days are up and some days are down, but you're looking at week over week trend analysis. By the end of week 4, you're at like over 30%. And then within 2 days, you're at nearly 35. Just for shits and giggles, let's say do this for 90 days. Let's just see how absolutely insane you can get moving into the Black Friday period. And this is end of 90 days is the beginning of Black Friday. You could get to the point where at the beginning of Black Friday, you're spending $24,000 a day. Like, I'm pretty good with that. Can you 2.4x your business in the next 90 days? So that when Black Friday hits, maybe you double. If you have this going on, the worst thing you could do is launch a bunch of creative testing. So like, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to like compounding interest and how to scale a business. And you'll say some people, oh, just go to 20x right away. And you'll have a week of 20x and then it dies. Do you want a week of 20x? Or do you just want to just scale this shit till it just continues to work, right? And great, Marvin has a follow-up, which, you know, you get a super chat, you get a follow-up, man. I appreciate it. Follow-up question, should I stop launching new DCT in the meantime until the best DCTs dies down? Yeah. Marvin, if you can spend more, the worst thing you could do is destabilize the win that you have. And you'll get a lot of people that will disagree with that have their own opinions, but they're not running your business. And ultimately, the only reason you're creative testing is why? So you can get better results so that you can do what? Scale your budget? If you can already scale your budget, why are you changing anything? Marvin, you're doing great, buddy. Just steady as she goes. I wouldn't turn off anything that you have also. Your entire blend is what's making this thing work. So keep doing what you're doing. And when you start getting to when you start getting into those $20,000, $30,000 days, you know, there's a lot more stuff I'd love to show you. You're like, the MBA program is a no-brainer. It's less than 1 day's ad spend for you. Like, let's get in here and start making these $50,000 days happen. Just like that stuff happens, right? I mean, you would not be the only person crushing at that level in this program. So anyway, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. Okay, girl. Okay. She also says thank you. So little Charlie says thank you as well. All right. Great questions. Love it. Boom. All right. So let's get back to the comment section here on YouTube. And we're just cranking away. I hope you guys are having fun. I am. And if you're not, oh, well, why are you here if you're not having fun? Who knows? We, by the way, take a moment. We are at 145 people. That's nearly 300 eyeballs if both of you got 2 eyes. And I really, really appreciate all of that stuff. And, you know, drop a comment, like, subscribe, all that fun shit. And there is a thing going down the bottom. Check out the Disruptor School. I got a code up there today to save 20%. And anybody that spends $150 gets a free hat. And you can put that 20% down on the premium version of the Facebook Ads MBA program and save literally thousands of dollars. DM me if you want to get in on this stuff. I'm just trying to help you guys out. I thoroughly enjoy this. Apparently, you guys are too. So let's keep going. All right. So here we go. Munib says, I was looking for a video about scaling. Loved it. Thank you so much. This is the how to scale a Facebook ad for any business, retail, coaching, e-com. I don't think it would fit in the character count, but this also completely works for SaaS companies. Fun fact, Facebook works for every business the exact same. Your business is not special. And every business, regardless of vertical or niche or anything else, all works the same way. It's about the acquisition of attention, the monetization of that, and ultimately turning that into future cash flow that you can reinvest into the growth of your business. Anybody that looks at things differently is either trying to sell one thing one time, in which case it's a fucking cash grab, or they don't know what they're talking about. And hey, look, you can be really successful not knowing what you're talking about. That's fine, but maybe leave the teaching other people to folks that do. Anyway, Austin says, thanks for the video. Question, what is the benefit of increasing spend slowly versus fast? Wouldn't the fatigue happen at the same total spend eventually? Or is it somehow different by prolonging the time? Austin, this is an epic question that I am so happy that you brought in. So let's see if we can make this any bit bigger. I don't know if you guys can see these questions. Let me know in the chat if like you can read this. Oh, there we go. That's You got to be able to read that. I can read that. Okay, cool. All right, so what's the benefit of increasing slowly versus fast? Well, let's look at the data side. Every change you make in the platform, in the spend, is a total level of the change in the data set. So we just did this great analysis on 1% more a day. 1% more a day is asking the machine to do 1% different work. Let's say you double your budget. If you can be really good, let's say you're a shoemaker and you can make 10 good shoes a day. Let's say you're the best shoemaker in the team and the whole team makes 20 and you make 10 and you're great. If your boss fires everybody else in the team and says, hey, look, you're the best, we're going to have you make 20. Do you think you're going to make them nearly as well? Maybe over time, but definitely not day one. It might take months for you to be able to do 20. Maybe it's weeks. Who knows? You might be a really good gobbler. The point is, scaling slowly means that we're protecting the data. And Facebook, everybody says, well, it's a creative platform. Sure, but the creative is infinitesimally as valuable as the data. The data in the machine is what makes everything happen. The creative is the application of the data. And that's why 10 different people can run the exact same ad, and the business with better data will win 10 out of 10 times. And that's one reason why dropshippers that all run the same 360p video from the ads library and the same product images from AliExpress all compete with each other, and whoever was there first wins because they got more data faster. Now, when you're talking about the next part of this question, which I love, which is, wouldn't the fatigue happen at the same total spend eventually? No. Fatigue, ad fatigue, is generally a sign of operator error. It is completely avoidable. So when you have an ad that's being shown to people, that ad gets data and ultimately has some low-hanging fruit. And it's like, well, we got 10 people to convert. I think I can find one other person for me to make a sale to. Great. And then, that data gets bigger and bigger as it gets more and more information, and it learns more and more who to sell to. The more and more people that it learns who to sell to because of the more data that it gets, the more low-hanging fruit that ad has. The problem is, if you ask that ad to spend twice as much, well, it might be making 10 sales, but could make 15. When you ask it to make 20, those last 5 are going to be a lot worse. And why we need to understand this is ad fatigue, generally speaking, occurs because instead of showing that ad to people that want to see it, you're forcing that onto people because of your business objectives. And ultimately, that means that you're placing your business objective above the business objective of your business partner, which in this case is Facebook. And by the way, I'll just go ahead and link this as the video here. If you want to check that out, it's in the comment section. So why this matters is Facebook is trying to give people a positive experience to make them enjoy their time on Facebook and come back and spend more time on Facebook and trust the ads that are on the platform. If your business has high returns or bad comments or a ton of bad reviews, you're going to be paying a higher CPM to show people your ads because Facebook looks at you as a liability to their business model. Your business partners with Facebook, regardless of what Ashton has to say. Now, why this also matters is because when your ad is being asked to show people, when your ad says, I know how to talk to 15 people, and you're like, great, go talk to 100. You're going to piss off 85 people in addition to the 15 that are happy to see you. What that means is, instead of that ad getting smarter by being shown to more and more people that want to see that ad and it getting better, you're taking that ad and making it worse by asking it to do more work than it's capable of. And ultimately, inside the platform, this is a detrimental impact on the estimated action rate. You're basically saying this ad works at small scale. Let me force it onto everybody. But the platform doesn't know who to show that ad to. So ultimately, you are creating more harm than good. And as a result, your CPMs go up. The quality of the people that your ad gets shown to goes down, and your efficiency gets worse. So one of the benefits of scaling slowly is that you don't outpace the data that you have. And last point that you didn't really get to here, Austin, or sorry, Augustin. I totally misread that. Augustin Druby. I'm going to go ahead and say it's all one. It's Augustin Druby, and that also I'm a white dude from the suburbs, so forgive me. Here's the other problem. If you scale fast and it breaks, do you know why? Are you able to say, oh, we were great at 1,000 a day, went to 5,000 a day, didn't, and it just stopped working? What stopped working? Well, you can say, well, my Facebook ads got worse and my conversion rate got worse. Okay, but was it that you brought in a bunch of bad traffic? Was it that your business wasn't optimized for those new types of people? What broke? And you say, well, then I'll just cut it back to 1,000 a day because I know that works. But you've also made all of your ads be seen by your business partner as liabilities, not assets. So you're going to be showing your ads to worse quality people, and you're going to be paying more money to reach a lower volume of worse person, which means that if the only problem in your business was the ads, and then you made them bad, when you come back to fix them with new ads, well, they're not starting with the same preferential treatment that the original ads were. So the more and more aggressively you scale, the less likely each new ad is to be good, which ultimately means the only way that's sustainable is if you launch more and more ads. And that's a reason why all of the cost cappers that said launch 10 ads a week, then said 20, then said 50, then said 100. And why you're now getting some people talking about infinite ad creation, and why they're just literally pulling lottery tickets, hoping to pillage the funnel of the rest of your business and take advantage of all of the great work of everybody else on the team to make Facebook look good at the expense of the overall growth in your business. So to answer your question, Augustin Druby, the benefit to increasing spend slowly is that you let your platform learn. You also consistently keep your stability. And honestly, sometimes when you spend more money doing it this way, you get better as you spend more money. Your CPA can go down over time, not go up. And as you bring more and more of those people that behave similarly, that where their actions are knowable and projectable, because remember we talked before, customer behavior is incredibly static and incredibly stable and incredibly projectable as long as it's the same people. Well, if you run 100 ads and they all get 100 sales because you've been scaling them up fast and then they break, it's going to be 10 times more difficult for you to get anybody to buy a second time than if I only run 10 ads and each of them gets 1,000 sales. Your CPA might be better than mine, but my bank account will be exponentially bigger than yours. And I'm going to get future cash flow even when times are tough, when you're going out of business, because I'm building a business. You're trying to be a salesperson. And for those reasons, I'm out. Shark Tank. Fuck the cost cappers. Anyway, not that I have a problem with cost caps. I do use the tools. Like, I'm not opposed to having them. I think there's a great point to them. And I wrote the textbook on how to use them 6 years ago. It's just the strategy a lot of these low integrity operator and scammer grifter ad agencies use to run cost caps is an abuse of that tool by basically saying all of this stuff works, but I'm going to use, chapter 8, page 1 and only do that. And it's like, that works if it's 10% of your budget and you don't need Facebook ads to crack all of your attention, then go for it. And to be fair, there are big wins like that. Obvi, huge win. But if you ask Ash, the reason he can do that, and he's very upfront about it, it's like their Facebook community just hit 100,000 today. That's amazing. And he's following a lot of Looper from 310, and we have like 500,000. And he's in Walmart. He doesn't need Facebook to be the front end of his funnel. That's really important information that most of those other people just won't tell you. And that's one reason I love those guys. I also happen to be an investor. So anyway, good people. All right. Another question on this video, and then we'll go back to the chat. All right, here we go. This is a long-winded one. Oof, okay. Malv447. I'm going to call this Malv. All right, Malv. I meant that to be funny. Now, when I said it the second time, it sounded derogatory. I apologize. Anyway, I was watching some of your other videos. In one of your videos, you mentioned that CPM is not important. It's basically vanity metrics. Yeah, true. You said that you should be looking at CPA if the objective is conversion. Yep. You can be at 100 CPM. All you care about if the CPA is still acceptable at 20. Yeah. And then you say in another video that a high CPM is an indication that your ad is a liability to Facebook and that your creatives are essentially lowering the user experience quality. Yep. So should we care about CPM or not? On one hand, you said CPM along with CTR and other vanity metrics are garbage. True. On the other hand, you said that high CPM is a result of horrible creatives damaging the user experience. Also true. So which one is it? My man, both can be true. You can be a bad business partner on the way to damaging your business relationship and still make money. It's not that the high CPM is the reason that you're successful or unsuccessful, but if we can improve our business operations, reduce the speed on our the loading time on the load speed on our website, and improve our customer service and and make better ads and delete bad comments and just get more people to be happy to see our ads in the first place, well, then our CPMs are going to go down. But if we're already making money anyway because our business is good, we're not doomed to fail because of the CPM. CPM is the canary in the coal mine, right? Now, when it comes to other things like CTR, that is a complete trash metric, and nobody should ever be looking at it as why an ad is good or bad. Honestly, a lower CTR is probably a good thing because CTR is just impressions and clicks. And if you can get, for the same dollar, if you get 10 clicks out of 1,000 impressions or 12 clicks out of 2,000 impressions, the 12 clicks out of 2,000 impressions has a worse CTR, but you got 20% more traffic. And odds are it probably converted more. So just everything has context, but CTR is completely fucking bullshit. This is not display, right? It's not email. It's an optimized CPM platform. Anyway, also, could the high CPM be caused by high competition in your niche rather than the quality of your ads? Yes, but which is like I'm a terrible. Let's go with good improv. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna go with good improv. Yes, and high competition is an opportunity. If you have high competition in your niche, don't be so focused on top of funnel ads. Then your high CPMs are okay because you're just reaching a high quality of person at a higher frequency, which improve your efficiency. And ultimately, if you're a startup sneaker company, you can make a lot of money by just saying why you're better than Nike. And then if every ad is fuck Nike, buy from us, you're going to make a lot of money because there's a ton of people that are ready to buy from Nike that just see your ad. And what's a win for you? Is it 10 sales? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? Let's say it's 100 sales and each one costs $100. That's $10,000. If you can spend $10,000 and never need a prospecting ad and you triple your money on every dollar you spend, why make a prospecting ad? Again, the high CPM isn't necessarily a problem. Context matters. And absolutist statements generally are misinformed. Although, fuck CTR is having value. Okay, let's get back to the chat over here because we're done with questions on that video, it looks like. All right, here we go. RS3. I'm hoping, let's see. Yeah, I think I got, okay. Cool. Scaling 700 a day on 322. Mazel tov, 700 a day is a lot of money. Good for you. That's like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Good for you. That's like, yeah, that's like over 20 grand. Good for you. The one main ad set is being very inconsistent. What do you recommend? Let me ask you this. What's your performance? One main ad set, very inconsistent. Overall business results, very good. Okay, cool. Don't do anything. Do you have a problem? If anybody's ever been on a consulting call with me, or if you've ever done an audit, by the way, I do audits. DM me if you want one. They're $4,000. Just let me know. And I also have a spot in the Brand Accelerator program. And generally, we do an audit for you. And then half of that money goes towards your first month if you want to work with me. In my Brand Accelerator group, we have a spot for one more, actually. We have a graduate. So we have an open call if anybody wants to join in. It is not cheap, but we work on a lot more than just running your ads for you. The last business, we improved their AOV by 20%, their LTV by 200%, and scaled up their ad account 20% while everybody else was pulling back. And ultimately, the reason why we have an open space is because they don't need us going into Q4. They figured it all out. We gave them the blueprint, which is awesome. They graduated. That's the whole point. Now we can go help other people. So spending $700 a day, the one main ad set being very inconsistent. Are you good enough or not? What's your search like? What's your email like? Can you improve your AOV? Is it a problem? If I don't know if it's a problem, I can't really get to helping you understand more. Because the honest truth is, if it is a problem, the answer is going to be a lot different than if it isn't. And if it is a problem, there's nuance to that we'd have to get into. And to be fair, that's what Disrupt School Inner Circle is amazing for. Like, we had people today, you can come on in there and basically, like, every week we have a call and you just pop open your ad account and we're going to dive in there and solve all the problems. It's like one-on-one consulting, but it's a group, and then everybody who shows up gets to learn from everybody else. And there's plenty of money to go around. None of you got nobody is special. We're all just trying to improve the world. And make money while we're doing it. At least that's me. So anyway, RS3. I hope that's helpful. I see another question from you. So let's just go to this one real quick. Please, when extracting the winning combo from 322, do you just copy post ID from the most spent ad in the share preview? Or do you look at dynamic breakdown to find the best headline, text, etc.? The ad that is shown in the preview is not the highest spending ad. It's the one with the best EAR, which is generally means why it is a correlation to it having the most engagement. Now, it often is one of the ads that spent the most, but not always. Now, when you look at dynamic breakdowns, do we just find the best headline, text, etc.? No, because you have no idea. Let me break down some quick math real quick. Let's say you spent $1,000 on a DCT, and one of those creatives spent $600. Well, remember, every creative in a 322 is actually 4 ads, right? Ad number 1 with headline 1 and copy 1. Headline 1, copy 2. Headline 2, right? You get the idea, right? There's 2 headlines, 2 primary checks, so that's 4 versions of the ad. So that creative spent $600. Did they spend all of it in one ad? Or what if it spent 150 in 4 places, even delivery? Now, that didn't happen, but the point is, what if that $600 was 150 spent on 4 different ads? And then the second highest spending creative spent $300. You have one that spent 6, one that spent 3, and one that spent 1. What if that 300 spending? What if that creative, 298 of it went to 1 ad? Well, that means that ad probably spent twice as much as any other ad in your entire business, minimum, out of that DCT. Now, what if that ad that spent twice as much as anything else was 5% worse, but was actually the one ad that was 5% worse than the blend of everything else? And what if the reason that ad that spent 600 was better was because it had one version that spent that $150 that is got a frequency of like 9 and a CPM of like over 100 and has like 12 out of 20 sales. And it's hyper efficient because it's super bottom of the funnel and only got shown to a few people a ton of times. And all the other ones are shit. Well, then you're like, well, let me just get the good one. Yeah, but it's a bottom of funnel ad. It can't scale. But the one ad that spent twice as much, that's the one's being shown in the preview, that's the second highest spending ad, or the creative. That one, well, that one's probably really stable. We don't need the best result. We need stability. You get stable results, and then you improve them. If you have stable results in your Facebook ad account, you can improve what happens after the click. If you're constantly changing what happens in the Facebook ad account, the ability to improve the rest of the business is basically zero. You can work on the ego of the Facebook marketer, or you can go ahead and make money. And that's why most really egotistical Facebook marketers that all focus on them looking good, none of them actually run successful businesses. And I got into an argument with one fellow where he's like, look, yeah, you say that, but I've got a business that's making $11 million. I'm like, yeah, you've been running for 8 years and bragging about 30% growth. I went from 50K a month to 7 million a month in less than 2. That's not the first time I've done that. And I did that in the last 2 years in the open. maybe stop bragging about like being bad at what you do. And also, that person happened to say, well, we're a seasonal business. It doesn't work. Like, it's only seasonal because you're running cost caps. So yeah, it sucks in the summer and it sucks in February, and you look like a fucking genius on November because you're only using cheat codes. You're not building a business. Anyway, that's a whole aside. Point is, I don't look at the dynamic breakdowns. I think it's fun. It's interesting information. It's not actionable in any way. But I hope that helps. All right, cool. Remember, everybody, we're doing some giveaways. I forgot what they were at this point. Man, I really should have remembered. You know what? Let's see if we can do this here. I don't know if it will work, but we're going to try to do this. I don't know if it'll work, but we're going to try to do this, okay? Let's go ahead and comment this little girl, CBT5. Comment in it. And in about 20 minutes, I'll grab all of the names and throw it into spin the wheel. And whoever wins, we'll call it a free hat and $100 gift card to Disruptor School. Yeah, fuck it. CBT5, drop it in the comments section on YouTube. And we'll do a giveaway. $100 and a free hat. From me to you. I don't care where you are in the world. I got worldwide delivery from my print-on-demand source. And I'll gladly pay the shipping. Come on in. Let's have some fun. All right, cool. We had some comments here, so let's get back to here. There we go. Boom. All right. Hi, Charlie. Can you adapt the asset side for each placement? Because if I throw in a bunch of formats, I usually see squared stories. Great question. And we're gonna attack the basis of the question here, but let's just drop in this video. By the way, here's the link to this video. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Copy. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So this is the video that we're talking about here. The flexible ads video. Where in this video, we grab the post ID of a flexible ad, and we also talk about some other stuff. So let's get back to the question. Boom, boom, boom. Where is it? Okay. We've answered those. We've answered those. We've answered those. Benefit of scaling slowly. Clarification. Okay, here we go. Can you adapt the asset size? No. Do you want to? No, I don't want to adapt the asset size. If you only see squared stories, I'm going to ask you this. How much of your money comes from stories ads? Is it 1%? Do you want to make the rest of your ads look worse so that you can improve 1% of your ad spend? Is it a problem? Overwhelmingly, by the way, the questions I get asked, my immediate question and response is it a problem? And overwhelmingly, the answer is, well, no. And so then my reaction is, why are you trying to fix it? Why not just make more money? Yeah. Hopefully that's helpful. And I don't mean to be dismissive. I'm just saying, don't worry about it. You're talking about a 5-cent problem in the bigger world. Okay. Danny Buey on this is a video, how to scale Facebook ads for any business. I think we've already dropped this link in here a couple times, so I'm not going to, there we go. How to scale Facebook ads for any business. Boom. There we go. Let's just make sure I don't lose my spot. Okay. We're here. Okay, cool. If the budget starts at $100 and increase the budget by 5% 3 times a week, and 1 year later, the scale is 37x. So after 1 year, the daily budget is $37,000, which is too long to increase revenue during hot selling times. Okay. What do you mean here is a 5% increase above the daily budget scale? If the daily budget is less than 3 to 5%, should the 20% day budget increase be applied? And should 5% only be applied to a budget greater than 5K? I like this question because we're addressing a couple of things here. All right, first thing that we're addressing is 5% too slow? And maybe it is. Maybe 5% is too slow for you. And the idea of spending $100 today and this time next year you're spending $3,700 a day. If scaling 37x within a year is bad for you, and I don't mean to say that in a way that is derogatory, that could absolutely be the case, then be more aggressive. Understand this. The more aggressive you are, the less confidence you're going to have in the outcome. You have 3 things: time, money and confidence. If you want to do it in less time, well, you're going to be less confident or you're going to make less money. If you want to have absolute confidence, it's going to take more time and more money. You don't get all three. If you do it right, you can get at least two, or you will get two. You don't get at least two. If you do it right, you get two, but you never get all three. So understand what the point, understand where you're at. And look, if your starting budget is $100 and you're crushing, go to 1,000. If you're still crushing, great. You don't have a problem. If you start at 100 and go to and it works, and you go to 1,000 and it doesn't work, maybe you go to 500. Like, figure out where to go with. Because also, like, if you have no data, you're not destroying data trying to figure things out. And if you are in a spot where it's very important to take advantage of the market right now, let's say you're a drop shipper, and it is 100% get there as fast as possible. And what I recommend people do is invest your profits. If I spend 100 and I made 1,000, tomorrow I'm gonna spend 1,000. Maybe I'll spend like 500 more, right? So if I generally do 50%, that's my goal when I'm trying to scale fast. I'm not scaling by 50%. I'm saying if I spend 100 and make 1,000, tomorrow I'm spending 500. And if I get 2,000, the next day I'm spending $1,000. I'm putting money in my pocket as I scale quickly. And that way, when the shit hits the fan and it stops working, and ultimately I lose, I still have money in my pocket because I kept 50 cents of every dollar as I was going along. That's how you make money, right? And then ultimately you figure out vertical integration and all sorts of other fun things. Cool. All right, let's do one more here because I think it's for the same video. Yep, how to scale your business. And then we'll get back to the chat. Okay. Wow. Harun Ishmael. I feel like we had another question from you before, but anyway, let's keep doing. I love it. Great video. Thanks. When you calculate blended CPA, do you take all of your marketing costs and divide by total number of sales? Yeah. Blended CPA. Total money spent and total amount of sales. That's it. You have no control. Like, the honest truth is your paid ads and your word of mouth and your organic and your email all work together. And now some people might not have done anything other than, well, I saw one Facebook ad and I clicked on it. Great. They're a unicorn. Most people have done some consideration. And remember, you're not by any means the only business selling this product. Unless it's like a knee-jerk, it's the first time I see this ad for a product I never knew existed, I'm going to buy it. Like the first fidget spinner ad you saw, great, I bought it. As soon as anybody else ever bought one, well, now that customer journey is a bit more complex. So, yeah, something to think about. Okay, cool. Let's get to the chat. By the way, I'm wondering if anybody's... we got some folks that got some CBT5ers. I like it. Awesome. Yeah, drop CBT5 in the chat. And yeah, super chat, by the way, is on YouTube, Malik. If you want to go to YouTube, you can do a super chat there. Love it. And we got some CBT5ers. Fantastic. I love it. Okay, cool. And we'll load that up in a spin the wheel thing, and then I'll share my screen and hit the thing to go, and we'll have some fun. I might have to put this girl down for a minute to do all that, but we'll do that. You got about 15 more minutes. 10 more minutes, anybody. If you want to get into today's freebie of a $100 gift card and a free hat to you anywhere in the world, drop CBT5 in the chat. You'll be entered to win. We're going to pull the number, or pull the name in 10 minutes with a spin the wheel, the dumbest GIF I can find on the internet. We're going to go with it. Cool. All right, let's get back to the questions here. Boom. Let's do this. Paul asked, question, for some reason, the ad account never shows it's spending money and learning, nor do the individual ads in the ads manager. Should I be concerned about this? Paul, no, I don't care about this. I mean, it's important to know. All right, girl, I'm going to put you down because you're about to fall asleep. You're about to fall asleep. Okay, hold on. There you go, sweetie. Okay, there you go. Yeah. And here's your, she's got one of these guys too, right? Yeah. Okay, there you go, sweetie. Okay. And you got a bat in the cave. All right, great. Okay. All right, Paul. For some reason, the ad account never shows it's spending money on learning, nor do the individual ads in the ads manager. Should I be concerned about this? Honestly, the learning phase matters, regardless of what anybody else will say. The learning phase is Facebook's way of telling you that it has confidence on knowing what the output of your campaigns or the delivery of those ads are going to be. Depending on various things outside of our control, Um, Sometimes we do not see the learning phase being represented. That happens. What I'm concerned about more is it a problem? Right? We're coming back to the same things. Are your results good? If your results are good, then you don't really have a problem, right? Like that's what we really want to get to, right? So, and if your results aren't good, then again, you might very well have a problem. And I'd be concerned with it. So, my point to this is that it's going to be hard for me to know how to answer your question because I don't know what your problem is. And that is one of the biggest issues that we have here is that if we don't know what our problem actually is, then it's going to be hard to understand how to fix it. The learning phase might be an issue. Generally, the way I would know if the learning phase is an issue is going to be if my results are incredibly unstable. That's going to tell me that that's a problem. But I ultimately, I don't know what your business results look like, so I can't really answer your question. But inherently in itself, if it's not showing that it's in learning phase or not, that to me, I'd like to know. And if it's never showing it, then that's telling me that something's kind of funky. But that's ultimately not the world's biggest concern. Joe Putnam, I just saw the tweet. His cat is watching me on YouTube. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Wow. Fun. All right, cool. I was looking to see if anybody had entered the CBT5 on Twitter, and then I just get this cat looking at me. Fun stuff. All right, cool. Let's get to the next question because I do appreciate that, Paul, and I hope you get a good answer. Okay, here we go. Leonidas. In some accounts, I somehow can't find the post ID from DCTs. Is there a reliable way to find the post ID every time? It always looks different in different ad accounts when I hit Facebook ad with comments. Well, Leonidas, the honest truth is no. There are many versions of Facebook that exist out in the world today. By the way, shout out, we're at 170 people. That's 340 eyeballs if everybody's got two eyes. Fantastic. And might be 342 if you count that cat. Okay. Anyway, any Facebook engineer with permissions can push a test. As soon as I say that to it, dropped down to 168. Come on, eyeballs, come back. 169. There we go. Nice. All right. So my point to that being, the way that we see the UX in the platform is always different, which can be a little frustrating. That being said, I do have a short video on how you can find it every time. So let me pull that up real quick. So I won't link it just because I don't. I mean, maybe I will. Who knows? But let's go and find this thing here real quick. How to find the post ID of any ad. I don't know if this will come through on audio. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but you don't need the audio because I dropped some captions on it because I got CapCut. Not to be all 1%er, but I got the free version of CapCut, babies. Yeah. All right, here we go. Nope. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do this. Okay, 1 second real quick because you can't see it in this video because of the cropping of me sharing it on my screen. So I'm gonna come back here real quick. Oh, okay, wait, what? Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. Let's zoom out for a second. Here we go. Okay. So the video ID, by the way, that I mentioned in here is in the URL. All right, so post with comments. Yep. Here we go. The video IDs in the URL. Yep. All right, here we go. All right, there's the fun with editing when you have 1 minute to go and you talk too much. Sometimes you have to do a hard cut. Anyway, I hope that helps. That will work on everything all the time. Um, Remember that in your page posts section, you can search by video ID and post IDs and stuff. And every video ID is attached specifically to individual posts. And so in that way, you should never not be able to solve your problem. All right, cool. We've got 3 minutes. Remember, just drop a CBT in the chat if you want to be a part of this giveaway. And I'm just going to try to burn through. We're going to get rid of the YouTube stuff. Let's see. We made it to this person. All right. Cool. So the leads objective, unfortunately, not possible. You're the last one. We made it to less than 1 day of YouTube comments. 2 hours in. Anyway, let's get rid of this. We're going to go barn burner through all of this stuff. So my apologies if you're not getting as many, as a detailed response here, but we are going to try to get to everybody's questions on this one, right? We are going to get through everything. All right, let's get started. All right. IS, thanks for doing this. You're welcome for doing this. I'm going to try to do this more often. Maybe we'll do it next Friday. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a guest. Who knows? Maybe we'll continue to be doing giveaways. Who knows? All right. Anyway, by the way, we have a huge masterclass next week. Go to disruptorschool.com or just check out go to any post on the Instagram and just type in Danil. I think I'm going to drop it, but you'll get a link. Danil from Incense is coming in doing a masterclass on all things UGC and influencer. It's his second masterclass. And word on the street is if you join the second masterclass, you might get the first masterclass for free instead of having to pay $350 on the website. But if you win the CBT 5 and you get a $100 gift card plus 20% off with the gift code here, you might just... Anyway, let's stack value on top of value. Anyway, let's get to this one, sir. How long would you test an ad? Let's say your target CAC is 15, your daily budget is 20. How long to wait if no sales? Then my answer to this question is how much money can you spend? The impact, you're never running a single ad account on one ad. So it's not about if that ad does good or not. It's about the overall blend of all of the ads put together. And if all of the ads put together is still good enough for you and your target CAC is 15, is coming in at 13, and that one ad spent 100 and it got no sales, I don't care. You don't have a problem. Don't fix it. So remember that the success and failure of an ad is in how it ultimately contributes to the overall bottom line of your business. And if your overall blended CPA is still good, don't change your ads. That bad ad might be the reason that your good ads crush because it's just the first touch point in the funnel. And if you look at your 4PI analysis, you might know that stuff. Check it out. Check out the 4PI analysis stuff. I think I mentioned it at least twice before in this call, but check out 4PI. 4PI. Go to my YouTube channel, search for it. Go to YouTube and just search for it. I'm actually curious if anybody else has any other videos on 4PI analysis. It's funny. ChatGPT knows what a 322 ad is, and it knows like who I am, and that's always really interesting to know. Just me, some dude on the internet. I mean, look, I've been in the game for like over 12 years, and I've managed $1 million a day, much less anything else, and I brought brands to 8 figures and exits every single year. But it's still great to know that some weird like AI knows who I am and my thoughts and the way I've been helping people. That's fun. Anyway. I hope that helps. Okay, cool. We have come to the time. We're gonna do one more because I see people have popped in. Vasu, I see you. All right. We're gonna do one more question, and then we are gonna do the giveaway. So if you want to be part of the giveaway, remember the giveaway is a $100 gift card and a free hat to you anywhere in the world. I will pay the shipping. Don't you worry about it. And yeah, we're going to pull that right after this question. So go ahead and drop it in the chat. And we're going to answer one more question. And then we'll continue to go. Okay. Let's see. Marvin has a question. Marvin, Yomi's asking, launching from Australia. Okay, hot sizzle. Here we go. Question on flexible ads. Wouldn't it be the same if we put one ad set, 3 flexible ads using 122? Oh, I think I saw this on YouTube and I'm mad we didn't get to it. And then you dropped it here live in the chat. Thank you, Hot Sizzle. I appreciate it. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna answer that one tomorrow. And then I didn't get to it. Cool. I was excited. This is what I enjoy doing, so I appreciate it. Okay. Wouldn't this be the same if we put one ad set with 3 flexible ads using 122? Would do 12 post studies with the structure versus doing potentially a 322 ad or you know, whatever. So let me answer this question as quickly as I can. If you have 12 post IDs, every Facebook ad is a web page on Facebook's website. Each post Facebook ad has a URL because they're web pages on Facebook's website. Now, dynamic creatives have one URL and flexible ads have one URL. And like JavaScript, they're just changing the things in and out, right? Like how you optimize a website on VWO or something. When you have 12 ads, those are 12 different web pages. Now, the way Facebook works is it's measuring the click-through rate, the bounce rate, the stickiness, the engagement rate, the watch time, etc., on each web page. And then ultimately, the Facebook feed is just the web pages that people want to see. It's like search results. When you have 12 web pages, they're all cannibalizing each other. And ultimately, Facebook's going to try to show the web page people like the most, but not every web page ultimately gets a chance, which is the way it works. And also, the success and failure of one web page does not inform the success and failure of any other. However, when using dynamic creatives or flexible ads, every impression to every variation is still going to one web page. And that web page gets smarter and smarter about showing which version of itself that it shows to anybody else. So when you have 12 post IDs, these are 12 cannibalistic assets in the market, ultimately competing against themselves to make each other dumber. And that's a bad thing. When using flexible ads for DCTs, they're complementary. So instead of having this like vampiric relationship, they're having a compounding value relationship. And if you have 3 flexible ads using 122, I don't know why you would do that versus 1 322. And is 3 flexible ads doing a 122 versus, yeah. So the other thing is your Facebook campaign decides which ad set to spend on. The ad set decides which ad to spend on. When you have multiple flexible ads in one ad set, it's not the campaign deciding to spend on that one flexible ad. It's Facebook deciding to spend on that collection of flexible ads. Well, that collection of flexible ads is a wildly unstable collection. So if you have a winner's ad set, or if you have an ad set of your winning ads, and then another ad set of a high volume of highly volatile assets, do you think Facebook's going to give the highly volatile high number of things a fair chance? No. And to be fair, it's not in their best interest to do it. And then the information that you're going to get out of it is not actionable. So ultimately, it hurts you. So just launch 1 322, 1 flexible ad per ad set. And you're going to understand the output of your campaigns. You're going to understand the impact of your Facebook marketing on your business's bottom line. And if you can't do that, then you have no idea what you're doing anyway. All right, so let's do this. We're going to present. We're going to stop this screen. Oh, whoop, let's see. Wrong one. Present, stop screen. Present, share screen, window, wheels. Do we have any more? I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay. Let's spin to win. How do we spin this thing? Click the spin. Ooh. Oh, wait, what happened? What happened? I think I zoomed in too much. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Hey, Cody Nixon, your win. Fantastic. All right, Cody, DM me on socials and we'll get you hooked up, buddy. All right. I thought I zoomed in too much. I've ruined the gift, but we got the value, and that's what really matters. All right. Cody, just DM me on socials and screenshot this, DM me on social, be like, I'm that Cody Nixon. All right, help me out. Make sure that we're above board here. Okay, cool. Let's get okay, we got a couple other things. So can a drop shipper, for example, scale with 5% 3 times a week, or 1% a day? Yes, you can. Although if you are in a race to get to the data set fast, I'd be totally fine with being more aggressive. This is a brand style thing. Although if you're a drop shipper, your number one objective is let me get one winning product and then sell something that's related to it so I can build a brand. If you're just drop shipping constantly, you're having to start over all the time. If you can get one vertically integrated product with another one, then you're building a business, even though I know people running entire drop ship brands. But as soon as you can get a customer base that can sell something else to through email, your profit margin goes through the fucking roof. And all you're ultimately doing is drop shipping is lead gen towards the sale of the second product that you sell through email. Boom. Now you start making a shit ton of money. All right, cool. Ollie, let's see. Ollie Roberts, what do you think about running only TOF ads since they always get the most spend to tailored landing pages? If you're spending $50,000, $100,000 a day, go for it. Use format. If you're not, don't worry about it. You are optimizing such a small unit of a small set of data that like it's just a waste of your time and money. That's the same question. Where's the super chat, Malik? It was on YouTube. Yep. All right, cool. Then we got a bunch of these giveaways. Yep. Nathan says, I love a hat and I will match you and donate to a good cause. Nathan, next time, DM me offline. Let's try to get together on something. You can promote that we're doing this thing. We'll make this thing bigger. We're up to 186, which is fucking amazing. And we'll keep going. Let's see. Not looking for the card, but the value every time he delivers invaluable, man. Hey, Malik, I love it. If you were to win, I would give you the card anyway. You give it to somebody else. Make it your own giveaway. You got a community. Give it to them. All right. Seamus CBT5. Okay. Square Stories, juicy preview text. I love it. CBT5 is here. She is here. She's now passed out, which is crazy considering how loud I am in this small little room. Hi, Charlie. Hey, Vasu, you got in the giveaway. Just didn't win today. Jennifer, as a beginner, what should I learn? Google ads or meta ads? I think, what do you like, Jennifer? Do you like high levels of data analysis or do you like being a creative person? If it's high levels of data analysis, learn Google. If it's being a creative person, learn Facebook. I actually have a video coming out on being a media buyer. We'll talk more about that. Malik says, I'm seeing good return on flexible ad format launches that came along. Also know it had the Advantage Plus features turned on. I love it. I think right back with how that's continuing to go. Malik says, do you test site links and offers in your flexible ads? Has it made any significant contribution? I'm not testing site links or offers because I don't want to introduce that level of instability into my ads. I want to know exactly what I'm promoting and I want to know how it's going to do. And I want to have a stable result that I can improve the rest of the business. Improving your Facebook ad is the least impactful improvement you can make in your entire business. Scale the rest of your business and then you can just add budget to Facebook. That's how you scale to the 8 or 9 figure exits. Ruben, do I need to add multiple profiles to my business manager? Keep it safe. I would love that tip. Absolutely do it. I always have at least one backup. There you go. Malik, I have a live Facebook Q&A in a session that I hold every Saturday. Malik, DM me. I am down to do that, man. Help me help you. I'm all for it. All right, we got like 60 seconds left. Sam, do you think a CBO campaign with a $50 daily budget, one flexible ad, same concept is successful, leave it running, just increase budget? Good. Yeah, if it's successful, don't fuck with it. If you're making money, add some of that profit volume into your daily spend. Scale to the moon, report back on how it goes. All right, do you think CBO? Okay, that's the same thing. Think creative groups. Hey, I think we did it. We got through them all. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it today with 0 seconds remaining. Can I do this? Do I get the no Google? No, not today. Just on every fucking Zoom call, but not during the fucking thing. Whatever. Fuck you, Google. Or no, it's iPhone. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, with all that being said, everybody, thank you guys so much. I had so much fun doing this. Let me know if you want me to do it again. Remember, if you rewatch this, there's giveaways throughout this whole thing. Cody, we're going to get you something. I'm totally down to continue to do those other bonuses that we said. DM me with all of those things as I asked you to do. And with that being said, I will talk to you all later. Bye.